have decided to camp out in my car for the night. In my driveway. Can you see me? Yeah, in my driveway. Alright, so here goes the interior of the van with my lights on and all of the screen windows, or all of the window shades in. So now I'm going to close the door and just kind of walk around the perimeter. Now I'm on the passenger side. You can't really see inside my windows. Again, the back of the van, you can see a little glimmer through. Not much, but again, I didn't really try to push that in there. I'm parking in my driveway, and then again, passenger side. You can't really see. There are a couple little areas, but I didn't try to stick those in too tough. And then now I'm coming around the front of the vehicle, and you can see straight in there, and I'm just waiting for my windshield visor to show up. So tonight I am camping out in the van. Open the door, get inside. I have my mat down here. First thought, as soon as I step in the van, is it's cold. It is cold and I don't like it. Obviously my lighting's not great in here right now because you know, it's dark inside. But I mean, it's good as far as me just kind of being in here at nighttime trying to see. Filming, not so great, but yeah, just make sure to lock myself in, and I got paranoid already. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and change, get ready for bed, and I just brought a couple things in from inside of the house that I felt like I would want to get through the night. So I have changed into my night dress, which is an actual little spaghetti dress to be worn during regular hours. It's a mini dress that I'm not that comfortable wearing just during the day out and about because it is so slinky, but I figured it would work great for nighttime. Not tonight because it's cold. This was a stupid idea, but I don't really have much warmer to wear to bed since my house is actually warm. But so I'm wearing this tonight. I've got on some like knee-high socks because I knew my feet would get cold. What I'm about to do is take out my sleeping bag, which is a 0-degree sleeping bag, or below 0-degree sleeping bag. I've actually never slept in a sleeping bag before, so this is going to be interesting. It's one of those cocoon types. So I'm going to sleep in here, and then I also have this blanket just to throw on top. I am very anemic, so maybe it's overkill. I don't know yet. I don't like to be cold though, at all. So I'm gonna sleep in here, throw this on top. I have something to cover my head with, even though it's already covered. This will come off in the middle of the night. But yeah, so this is gonna be my setup for the night, to stay warm and see how I feel about that. And then I'm gonna remember to go ahead and see what the temperature is now. It's not one of the coldest nights. I think it might be in the 40s or 30s, but let me not get to guessing. I'll just find out and include it when I put the video together. But yeah, let me get all of this stuff set up and I'll be back. So about last night. Last night was pretty rough. I did not sleep at all last night. So let me just get to running through it. The first issue that I encountered with sleeping last night was the weather. It was cold. I think when I decided to check the weather last night, it was about 40 degrees maybe, and dropping. So I was freezing. I don't know what in my good mind told me to wear that little piece of skimpy thing to bed. I thought it would just be easy, nice little, night dress. If you're going to sleep in the cold, layer up. I don't care what you're sleeping in. Now, I will say that every part of me that was in my sleeping bag was absolutely warm, and I have the cocoon type sleeping bag. So yeah, I was absolutely warm inside the sleeping bag. But like if your little forehead gets out, you're cold. Um, Trying to let yourself breathe, frozen nose. So my sleeping bag with the little blanket that I had over me, though, that did pretty good as far as keeping me warm. But the minute I reached outside for my phone, for a snack, for anything, it was on and popping. I was freezing, and so yeah, temperature, wasn't feeling it. The second thing that I had issue with last night sleeping was with my bed. I always hear people talk about this sunken place. They always make jokes about somebody being in the sunken place. I'm not 100% sure what that place is, but I felt like it had something to do with my mattress last night, because my behind had like sunk down, and I just knew any minute now I was going to touch pavement. I just knew I was going to be touching my driveway. Like, my legs was up, my head was up, but my behind, like, my booty not even that fat. My booty is not even that fat, and I had fell just all the way through. So this is making me rethink my bedding, my bedding, and I hadn't planned on keeping my bed like this forever, but now I'm just like, gee, do I need a cot today? Because whole booty was just on the ground. And the thing is, I'm using my couch cushions. They had never been that soft in the house. I don't know what about being in the car had made them just this kind of soft, but yeah, that was another thing. But usually I can sleep in any situation. Like I can sleep on the floor, I can sleep in a couch, I can sleep, the sun is out, there's noise happening. Like, I am good at sleeping. So I think what really made sleeping last night difficult for me was my third thing, which has nothing to do with the van itself, but it was that I was cramping. And me cramping is something that, obviously I'm going to go through at least once a month. And it's something that I deal with actually really badly. My cramps are crazy cramps. You don't want these cramps. These cramps I wouldn't wish on nobody, but I'm not going to say, because I'm not going to get into a political thing here, right? But, yeah, my cramps don't like the cold. So me in the cold, falling through a bed, it was just a trifecta of things happening last night that weren't working. The fourth thing, I believe I'm on number 4, the fourth thing that made last night difficult for me was nature. At about 12:28, I believe an episode of Twilight or something had started filming in the forest across from me. If you can see, I live out in the country. I don't live in the city. I'm out in the country somewhere, right? So at about 12:30 in the morning, the wolves or something got to going. I don't know if they were wolves, coyotes, what else, Black Panthers. I don't know what was out there, but they started howling. I'm pretty sure they were like fighting with each other. I'm not 100% sure what they were doing. Ugh, my little thing is cutting up now. But yeah, something was happening, and it scared me. Like, because I like to go out every now and then, and when I go out, I tiptoe back in at 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So now that I know what happens out here after dark, like, I'm petrified. I'm be running to the house in my little skimpy outfit like, don't eat me. So that was the next thing. The elements, like I said, the animals out there having a fight or calling to the moon. And then, my paranoid mind, like I said, I live out in the country, and I'm the black hand side, so me living out in the country, my mind just gets to, I live in some place where you see Confederate flags and stuff pretty often, so my mind just got to going to places and I just imagined somebody with a shotgun creeping up on my van and me being like, I got mace. So yeah, that right there, that was another thing that made me nervous. So last night was not the best. I mean, I didn't sleep in a wink. I didn't sleep a whole wink at all. Um, so it was crazy. So at about 6:50, once I heard like my neighbors up and getting ready for their work day, I went ahead and tiptoed back inside and took care of lady things and just laid it on back down. So I will definitely try this again. I will try it with more clothes. I will try it maybe when I'm not cramping to see if I can fall through the bed, to the ground and be okay with that. Because it wasn't really that awkward of a sleeping position. It was just, not the one I had started out with. I had started out like this and, I had started out like flat. And then I was like this afterwards. So, yeah. Um, it was interesting, man. It was interesting. And I think I would feel safer camping out in the city. I am a person, though, who's always felt safer in cities. I'd always lived in apartments. The very first time I'd moved to a house as a child, it gave me extreme anxiety not having, people around me. I've come from a Caribbean island, so you're used to having people by you all the time, too. So yeah, I think I'll feel more comfortable sleeping, in parking lots where there are people around, and just not kind of out and secluded. And I got neighbors, but shit, I didn't know coyotes and koala bears were out here howling at the moon. So we don't know what's going on at nighttime once we are locked up in our houses. Apparently, you can't hear this stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna give this another trial run pretty soon, actually. And yeah, I will wear more clothes. I will, not be cramping. I may or may not want something to help me go to sleep. But yeah, I'll definitely adjust and will definitely try this again before I hit the road the real time. So, all right, first attempt. Didn't go great, but I'm not to be deterred.